Lurking in the nameless, forbidden regions of the underworld dwelt the Djinn, demons of vast size and loathsome habit who despised humans and would eat them whenever they could. Often, however, they were forced by magic to become their servants instead. Persian folklore relates the tragic history of one such creature, Tantalos by name. Now, Tantalos was a particularly proud and intelligent demon, but for centuries he, like his fellow elementals, had been summoned to the upper world by chanted commands he could not refuse, and compelled to serve whatever sorcerer had conjured him. The tasks laid out for such Djinn always seemed menial and degrading, and no matter how much the spirits would complain of a sore back or a sniffly nose, they would still be forced to work. The wizards did not seem to realize or care that the Djinn tired as easily as anyone else, and Tantalos always seemed to wind up with the worst assignments. After several hundred years of this abuse, though, he had had enough. So in keeping with his devious nature, he hit upon a clever stratagem that he believed would solve his problems. He decided he would, slowly and carefully, remove his soul from his body and hide it in the strangest place he could think of. Somewhere in the most distant, most secret, and most forgotten place in the world, possibly near the edge of the earth itself. And a body without a soul in it, he knew, could not be commanded. Only when the soul was found could he be summoned and forced to serve against his will. Having done this, Tantalos proceeded to live exultingly as a king. Nobody could order him about, he knew, or humiliate him, or force him to sweep their doorsteps. For the first time in his dreary, monotonous existence, life was a treasure indeed, a delicacy to be savored with relish. He would play music, run barefoot in the meadows, dive into clear blue waters, and sleep under the stars. He feared nothing. Whenever some presumptuous magician attempted to summon him with a spell, he would appear, laughing if he wasn't busy, and simply tear his head off. And if some overweening mortal ever got it into his head to do battle with him, he would invariably prevail, since no weapon, however skillfully wielded, could harm him. He became the terror of the countryside. Many years passed like this when one day something dawned on him, which soon came to disturb him deeply. Tantalos had forgotten, he realized, exactly where he had hidden his soul. At first he didn't let this bother him too much, since he reasoned that if he, of all people, didn't know where it was, surely nobody else would be able to find it or trick him into revealing its location. But as one season followed another, a strange thing happened. Tantalos began to miss his soul. He came to feel lonely without the snug, cozy feeling it had given him, and he dearly missed the way it had kept him warm inside on frosty winter nights. So Tantalos began to wander the world, searching in every distant and disremembered place for his lost soul. He sailed 1,000 seas and found nothing. He explored infinite swamps and deserts, shone light in the depths of Larunia, even scoured the endless caves beneath the world itself, and still he found nothing. In short, he searched every secret and impossible place one could imagine, and still could not find his soul. Nevertheless, something forced him to continue on his lonely quest, looking in every temple, every jungle, and every sacred river or ruined monastery he could find, mumbling and groaning all the while. Life became for him a vast and crushing torment. And then, when he least expected it, Tantalos felt himself vanishing and being pulled away at the same time. Someone, somewhere, had found his soul and was calling him to them. Eagerly he flew through innumerable worlds and chaoses, trembling with delight and burning with curiosity to learn who had, at last, found his soul. All at once he appeared. He was standing in a fantastic and immense garden. Before him stood the wizard Freston, of whose frightful and legendary power even the lesser spirits had heard. Tantalos bowed fearfully, and in a humble voice asked his wishes. But he was surprised when, instead of sternly barking orders at him, Freston quietly explained that he was getting on in years and could no longer see to his garden. And this garden, he pointed out, was extremely important to him, because he used his plants not only for food, but for the vital ingredients of countless arcane spells. Therefore he had summoned Tantalos to help him tend his plants and vegetables, until such time as he could afford to replace him with a willing servant. No, he would not reveal where he had hidden his soul. I fear your vengeance, and so, for my own safety, I have concealed it. And so Tantalos began working in his garden, learning the thousands of uses, both bizarre and unexpected, of all the plants under his care. He came to know the patient intricacies of their tending and every secret told by their growth. And the garden responded to his skill and flourished like it never had before. Every flower blossomed and every vine sang. What made his servitude almost palatable was that Freston, matchless wizard though he was, seemed not only kind, but almost apologetic for having had to summon him. He fed Tantalos well, and did not address him like a servant. He let him sleep indoors in a warm bed, and levitated by magic anything that seemed too heavy to lift. In fact, he did nothing at all to justify his fearsome reputation. Nearly every morning he would reassure him that he meant to give him his freedom as soon as he could manage it. He treated him so well, in short, that Tantalos soon grew to love his gentle master. One afternoon, while trimming roses in the garden, Tantalos heard a few feeble coughs coming from the enchanter's tower. He laid down his shears and raced inside. "Master?" The reception hall was deserted, and he found nobody in the workroom either. "Master, where art thou?" The coughing again. And so, taking a fluttering candle from the ancient library, Tantalos quietly made his way up the countless stone steps and stood before the colossal door. In his cluttered chambers, the ancient sorcerer lies drawing his final breaths. Fetching him a drink of water, you notice his mild wizard eyes regarding you. Weakly he motions you over. Eyes moist with tears, you kneel down by his bedside. Closer, closer he motions. Will the secret be revealed at last? "Speak, kind master, and tell me, where hast thou hidden my soul?" The enchanter smiles and murmurs something in an ancient language which you have long since forgotten. "Say again, dear master, I cannot understand thee." But the sorcerer's eyes are closed, and there will be no more whisperings. And thou, noble offspring of fire, lookest outside as the first snows of winter fall.